right, we are live, and this is episode 31 of Massive Nyarlathotep, not counting all the little A's and B's that were thrown in for little private sessions. So we've got quite a lot under our belts here. We left our heroes, investigators, in the belly of the beast, as I would say, at Miser House. Natalya and Alan are upstairs under house arrest, as it were, and Shelley is enjoying the excellent company of Mr. Gavigan in their master bedroom, and Rory has surprised everyone by by abducting the town constable and forcing him to give him entree into the mansion, and they are now waiting downstairs for Mr. Gavigan to be summoned. And when we left, he saw a man in what essentially amounts to a silk house coat, followed by another man in a suit, enter the room. So that's where we left off. Let's, I think we just played that by a little theater of the mind there, so I'm going to actually rearrange the room here a little bit. There's Rory. I am going to use this guy as the mayor, even though he doesn't really look like the mayor, but let's just say he is the mayor.
The constable?
I mean the constable, not the mayor, yes.
Okay, I was like, the mayor's here too?
Sorry, no, my bad.
Yeah, my crime keeps growing and growing.
This town is utterly corrupt.
Yeah. No. All right, no, those guys are upstairs. I believe it was Magnus who went to fetch or said he was going to go and fetch Mr. Gavigan. So yeah, Rory, you can see this gentleman sort of stride into the room with someone else behind him, who, again, you've never met them, you don't really know who they are, but he carries himself with the air of the man who owns this house. So it's not very hard to imagine he must probably be Gavigan. He certainly walks in as if he is. And he looks at the two of you. And are you doing anything immediately there, Rory, or are you... What's your plan here?
Rory not recognizing any of them. He's watching them walk in. Now, is there... I mean, because there's probably no way like he'd be able to kind of... Because they could easily disguise him or whatever. So as they walk in, he's gonna look over, and I suppose one of you is Mr. Gavigan.
Gavigan looks at the two of you, and he seems surprised that it's obvious he's surprised that you're even speaking. It's pretty clear when he walked in and you start to look, he looked at you and sort of dismissed you immediately and was starting to say something to the constable. And then you kind of open your mouth and speak. And he says, "Yes, I'm Edward Gavigan." And he says, "And who are you? And you, constable, aren't you supposed to be out taking care of the mess on the road?" And the constable looks at you, Rory. Do you say anything?
Well, That's the purpose of our visit here, is you see the mess on the road.
Yes, well, why aren't you out clearing it?
Why the constable ain't out clearing it? You said you're asking the constable to clean up the firefight that happened in your front there. Is that correct, Mr. Gavigan?
I'm sorry, have we met?
Ah,
The constable says he is from London, Scotland Yard, I believe you said, sir?
aye, but not from London. See, London has a cesspool of corrupt officials, so they sent me.
You can see Gavigan's facial expression kind of twists a little bit. So, who exactly are you again, Mr.
Abbott, Inspector Abbott. And I feel like from what I observed last night that we have a lot to discuss.
Make a fast talk check for me if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, this is where it goes downhill.
Ooh.
Yeah,
you
lucky.
could spend the one. Okay, go ahead. Very well. What do you wish to discuss? Inspector, is it? Have a seat. Would you like some tea?
No, I'm quite alright. I don't need any tea, nor do I need to sit. I'd prefer to make this a little brief.
He says, you'll get no argument from me on that account.
So perhaps you can tell me why you had, I guess I'd have to say, some of your men down there firing in at cars. It's quite hard from the distance I was observing, but it seems like there was quite a firefight and a few dead bodies.
He says, well, that's what the constable's supposed to discover for me. It was close by my property. I have an interest in the outcome of whatever nefarious activities were taking place there.
Well, I do believe it wasn't just close by on your property. In fact, I believe some of the people in this house were involved.
And what would make you think that? It's a rather bold accusation.
Well, as I was saying, from my observations, I've seen the fight, and I also seen people head into your gate. So then a
May
closer
I ask
inspection.
what you were doing? From what I understand, we heard sounds late at night last night. What were you doing there? Might I inquire? Do you have business out here?
Well, as I was getting to my point, see, there was a blonde that walked into the gate, and I happened to see the blonde inside your house last night during my observations. The business I have here is because they asked me, Scotland Yard that is, to investigate you for a rash of murders.
That's rather ridiculous. And I must confess, I'm not exactly following this tale.
Well,
You were observing my house and saw a firefight take place last night, as you describe it. Do you know anything about the parties involved? I certainly would like to be informed on that score.
Well, other than the fact that whoever was involved walked in here. And then when I went around the back to see what was going to happen, what was going on, because you got the nice,
I'm
beautiful
sorry,
yard.
can you be more specific about going around the back? I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Well, as you see your fence there, on the other side of your house, went through, and I looked through a window, and that's where the blonde was, the same blonde from the firefight.
So, am I to understand that you entered my property without a warrant? Is that what I'm hearing?
That I did. There is a commission of a crime.
A commission of what crime? You'll have to be a lot more specific than that.
Are you aware that either you're housing a murderer or you're a part of it? I don't know. But either way, there's questions to be asked of that blonde-haired woman.
Ah, there.
There is.
Well, I don't know of any blonde-haired woman here today. I suppose one might have sneaked onto my property, but we don't really have any women here other than the housekeeper. And she's certainly not outside of the house at any late night hours. So, whatever you think has happened, I'm not sure I can help you out much with your theories.
Well, then perhaps you'll let me look around. I'm sure if there's no
I think
blonde
not.
woman.
This is my private property.
Again, there was a crime here last night, and they came in here.
There was a crime committed outside my property, from what I understand. So there was no crime committed here.
Did not the person who was involved in the said crime come inside? Did I not see them walk into your door?
I don't know anything about that. I assure you, if you'd like to return with a warrant, I would be happy to let you look around the place, but I am rather a stickler for proper channels.
Oh, you know. Well, that's a shame, see, as I was hoping to avoid the proper channel. But I couldn't come back with a warrant.
Yes. Well, that sounds fine. And who exactly are your superiors, if I might ask?
He's gonna kind of let out a smile. Well, of course. You may ask. But I don't have to tell you.
So what you're telling me is that you can't tell me what British authority you are working for? That's very strange.
Again.
Why would that be?
Well, you know, I just don't... there's nothing saying I really have to. Right?
I'm afraid you're not very familiar with the law.
Well, see, the inspector...
Very odd for someone enforcing the law.
No. See, I think you misunderstood. I think you mean that if I was arresting you, I could give you information, but since nothing is here, right, until after the warrant comes, then you'll know who...
Well, I should like to have a word with your superiors to see what exactly it is they think I've done. I'm entitled to that, at least. Since you said you were here observing me under suspicion of murders of some sort?
No, I was observing the blonde-haired woman that walked inside.
So you followed the blonde woman here. I'm finding this story rather confusing. I'm afraid I'm not quite following all the details. Is that making any sense to you, Kinry? And the other man just sort of says, And he says, I'm finding it all rather hard to follow as well, sir.
Well, then I guess that's all our conversation for now. I'll have the constable go ahead and phone into Scotland Yard, and I'll just sit outside your property observing it.
Oh, I suppose as long as you're not on my property, that you are well within your legal rights. And he kind of smiles, a saccharine smile at you. Says, Kinnery, show him out. And he turns to go out the door.
As he turns to go out, with Rory having his hand on his gun in his pocket still, he's actually just going to go ahead and pull it out now.
Okay. Kinnery reacts with a raised eyebrow, and Gavigan stops, and he kind of slowly turns back to you and faces you squarely on, and he says, "How very interesting."
At that point, Rory's just going to go ahead and shoot him.
All right. Then we will take a step back in time before this happened. Let's go upstairs. This is, well, you don't know exactly how much time before all of that, but it's morning, Shelley. And you are just waking up. And Gavigan is already awake and sitting at his desk, scribbling away.
Shelley sits up for a minute, staring at his back, just enjoying the moment of allowing, herself to hate openly.
Yes, because as far as you know, he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head.
Right. After observing him for about 30 seconds, she gets up, wraps the sheet around herself, and tiptoes over to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
She'll look over his shoulder and see if she can see what he's doing before he, takes notice of her.
There is there's a letter sitting on his desk. I will let you try a language English. All right. You pick up enough of it. I'm going to give you a brief read of it before he turns. So I'm going to display it and then hide it pretty quickly, so be ready. And then he turns, and I'm going to ask you to close it. And you can see he was writing something, and he when he sees you, he smiles, but you catch there's just like this little momentary start, like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar kind of thing. And he just folds the letter up that he was writing. He's writing something, and kind of sticks it in the inside of his silk robe. And says, "Ah, you're up, darling." And he stands up.
She just looks at him with a sheet wrapped around herself and gives a little smile. Good morning. I wonder if they managed to launder any of my clothes last night.
He says, "Well, you never can be certain with Dorothy. She means well, but she's sometimes I think not all there, if you know what I mean." He kind of smiles.
She smiles indulgently. Well, of course. It's so good of you to allow her to stay here. And she just touches his arm briefly and then walks over to, is there a wardrobe or a closet or some drawers? She'll go over there and
he says, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
she'll walk over and just open it and say, well, I can't walk around like this.
Oh, no.
Looks
He
for like
leads you-
a shirt or something.
Yeah, he opens these doors here, crosses to the room, and he says, "You can find something in here, my dear." And he he pushes the doors open and it reveals another room, like a large dressing room. And you see on the floor here, immediately standing out to you is an odd statue on the floor. Not very big.
And it's just standing on the floor,
Yeah, it's just
kind of like a shrine-like way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Seeing it, she'll immediately just kind of kneel down next to it and stare at it with rapt attention. Disgusted, but pretending not to be.
Yeah. He said,
This statue, there's just something about it that draws the eye. Where did it come from?
Of course it draws the eye, especially yours. It ought to. He said, where did it come from? From the motherland, from Egypt, of course. He
Is
said,
this the Black Pharaoh?
Indeed it is. And he smiles. He says, in fact, if you're interested, you can join me in my morning devotions.
Yes, please. I don't know exactly what is expected, but...
Oh, not much at all. He said, and you may learn something very useful from it, in fact. He said, I have a morning routine. You might say it's a little bit reminiscent of the Muslim praying to Mecca. But unlike that ridiculous faith, there are true benefits to be derived from this worship. And he goes to this dresser and he opens it up and pulls out a couple of like small, they look like little prayer rugs, and he crosses over and lays them down side by side on the floor there. But unlike, a pleasing pattern, these little rugs are covered with strange tentacled things and eyeballs and deformed humans. It's very disturbing to look at. Fortunately, it is also a little rough. It's not in great detail. It's pretty crude, but you get the idea. And then sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to say she, will kneel down on one next to him, just trying to avoid looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Make a sanity check then for me as you're trying to avoid looking at it. Okay. You avoid looking at it. He also goes back over and you can see he takes out these what look like scepters. I'm going to show you a picture of these two scepters. And he brings those back with him. And he takes up a place on the left rug, since you took the right one. And he sets the scepters down next to him. And he says, just follow my lead, darling. It's not difficult, although the words will be hard for you to pronounce, he said, but there's no danger in mispronouncing them. And he kind of prostrates himself forward in front of this idol. and starts speaking in a language you have never heard. It's full of strange combinations of consonants, and you're not even sure what the word, what are words and where one stops and one begins. It's very difficult to follow along.
So she had expected him to be speaking Arabic after
Yes,
everything they've
it's
kind of been
not.
through.
It's not Arabic.
But she can
yes.
tell it's not.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, Shelley
Yes,
doesn't
it bears
believe in
no
any of this.
resemblance to Arabic. Yeah.
So she, although I'm sure she has kind of a funny, squeamish feeling in her stomach, just follows his lead and imitates him.
Let's see how well you do with that. Try an intelligence check for me. Yeah, okay, you do passably well. You have no idea what you're saying, and you get maybe a quarter to a third of it, maybe. But that seems to be enough for him, and he kind of, when he's done, and it really only takes about 5 minutes, he kind of rises and waits for you to follow him back up, and then he kind of turns, and you can see he's kind of beaming like a proud father. And he just reaches out and strokes your cheek with his hand. And he says, "Don't worry, darling, it will come soon enough, and I'll explain the meaning of all of these strange things to you at some point, when you're ready, of course."
I didn't recognize the language.
That is because it is an ancient language. Very, very ancient. From even before the time the Black Pharaoh walked the earth. It is the language of the gods. And he does his little mysterious smile when he says that. Clearly proud of impressing you with that.
Yeah, she smiles a little uncertainly back, not sure if he expects her to think it's like he's teasing her or what, but she says, "Well, I look forward to hearing an explanation. I admit the extent of my foreign language studies is a bit of German."
He says, "Well, it's... the words themselves do not easily translate into English or really any other tongue of man, but they can be roughly understood. It is a language one learns with one's spirit, I think would be more accurate to say."
Those scepters look very old.
Oh, they are.
What do they mean?
He reaches over and holds them, and he actually hands the two of them to you. And he said, "These hold great power in them." He says, "You will recall your exposure last night to the cost involved in invoking powers from beyond." He says, "These aid in that process, dramatically so, in fact." He said, "In fact, if one knows what one is doing, one can squeak by without suffering consequences." And he smiles. "They're also very good for protection, mystical protection, you understand."
Well, I don't really, but I hope to.
Well, would you like to try it?
Oh, yes, please. As he mentioned the process downstairs, in her mind, she is thinking about her own, her initial experiences that brought her into this, the force that drained life, and the effect that her own machine had on it. And she's thinking about it in a way that this must be some sort of conductor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's trying to feel like if it's, she can feel a current going through it.
Make a power check for me. Since seem like you're trying to focus. It might be your imagination, but maybe you do feel some sort of energy in these. You kind of want to, and you're hoping to, so you're not sure. But maybe there is.
Her brows furrow a little as she holds them and kind of is concentrating on that. I don't know if it's my imagination, but it's as if I feel a current in them.
Current? As in electricity?
That's what I was comparing it to.
You said, well, I don't quite understand the science of a lot of this. In fact, I'm hoping that's somewhere you'll actually be able to teach me in time. He says, but yes, there is certainly power flowing through these. Power that if you know how, you can draw upon rather than your own life energy.
How do you do it?
Well, one must know the ritual. It takes some effort and concentration, but I can teach you. You're a quick learner. He says, if you'd like to try.
Yes.
Excellent. He says, well, I'll walk you through my morning ritual then. I do this every day when I rise. If done properly, it will protect you from bodily harm until the next time.
From bodily harm?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm going to teach you this. It is not a thing inherent to these. He said these, he reaches out to take them from you. And he takes them back, and he crosses them in front of him. He says, if you hold them like this in front of you, they will protect you from spiritual dangers. But if you know how to draw on their power, they can be used for physical protection. And he hands them back to you and kind of shows you how to hold them out in front of you. And he says, you must kneel.
She follows his instructions.
Mm-hmm. And he starts to teach you a recitation and tells you need to close your eyes and let your mind remain unfocused on your surroundings. You must be willing to lose yourself. And then he teaches you this almost a mantra in that ancient strange language that he was saying before. But it's not a very long phrase, so it's something you could probably learn with some practice. So he's being very patient. Yeah. Oh yeah, still totally negative. Yeah, that doesn't seem to bother him at all. In fact, you can see he's rather pleased, like it's fitting that you should be doing this naked. And so you, I assume, start to try to.
Yeah, she'll try
it.
to do what he says and intone it.
So give me another intelligence roll. Ooh, all right, you're picking it up very quickly. And he's being very, very patient and very encouraging, and just kind of, helps guide, keeps your hands up in a certain position, and he says, good. Now, as you repeat this, you will begin to feel power draw into your body. And he says, you can do this for as long as you like, but if you go too long with it, the scepters themselves will be drained and it will start to feed off of your own life force, which is fine for a time. But if you do it too much, you will pay a severe price. That comes with practice, to know what your limit is.
And she is a little alarmed at that, thinking of, I mean, she's seen people drained of life energy.
Yes.
Well, please, if you think it's going too long, stop me.
Oh, I will. Don't worry, my dear. But you see, you can do this on your own if you need to. You don't need these scepters.
You don't?
Oh, no. You can do it yourself. The same words will draw on power, but it will be your own life power.
Oh, I see. Well, where is the power coming from when I use the scepters?
The scepters are like a conduit, as I think you used that word before. It is apt. It draws the energies of this world of the gods, draws it forth like a sponge. But like a sponge, if you squeeze the water out too fast, it dries. And in time, will reabsorb again. And he says, I have learned to use it sparingly, and it has not failed me each morning. It is enough for me to carry out what I must, to protect myself each day, especially in light of that vile woman and her machinations.
Yes, I've been thinking about her. I lie awake for a bit last night thinking about her. When we're done here, perhaps we can discuss it.
Yes, that would be good. But then, back to the task at hand. You were doing very well. And he asks you to continue. And now I would like a power check. Okay. You can feel unmistakably as you repeat this phrase over and over, you can feel energy passing into your body, up your arms and into your, like, it's unmistakable. It is, you have, I'm sure you've been shocked electrically before by accident.
Probably many times.
Yeah. It's not exactly like that. It's slower. But it has the same sort of weird tingling, off-putting feeling, right? Your skin kind of crawls a little bit as it works its way up your arms in little waves. But you can feel this strange vibration and energy accumulating inside of you.
Does she, I suppose she wouldn't really have any sense of when enough is enough.
No, you don't actually. It's a very strange sensation. I honestly don't know if Shelley would find it exhilarating or frightening, or maybe a little of both.
Yeah, I'm sure a little of both. And also there's a part of her that's still calculating, that he said that there's a limit and that she's hoping she can take it and not leave any for him.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I think she'd continue until she got really scared.
All right. Why don't you? Let's see. Now, if you're willing to keep going, he says you can stop anytime you feel it's too much, darling. You can feel it accumulating inside of you. Yes.
Yes, I feel it.
He says. He seems like excited to see how far you're going with this.
Can I keep going?
He says, make a charm roll. How charming are you? With a bonus die. I mean, actually 2 bonus dice. The guy is crazy about you right now. I'll give you 2 bonus dice on that.
Can I spend any luck on that?
You can spend luck or you can push it. Pushing it might be a little dangerous because it could backfire.
I think I would go with the luck.
All right, go ahead. Then he says, honestly, I didn't think you could handle it this far. He says it is, as I recall, quite unnerving the first time. But if you think you can continue, please do. So you do. Yeah, you go a while. And eventually there is this point where you can feel yourself being drained.
Oh, she just drops him. Drops him like...
Okay.
She gets really scared.
He actually laughs. It's not a derisive laugh. It's just sort of like, it's almost like the laugh of a parent who's seen their child walk sort of awkwardly for the first time. So it's a pleased laugh. And he says, I must admit I've never seen a novice so brave, willing to be taken that way. And he reaches down and takes the scepters and kind of hefts them a little bit, and he says, you have drained them completely. And he kind of puts both in one hand, and again reaches out like he likes to do, and just sort of like pets your cheek.
I didn't break them, did I?
Oh, no, not at all. He said they will recover in time. And he rises and goes back to put them back in the cabinet.
She stands up, looks around, kind of looks at her hands. She reaches up and puts her hands on her cheeks.
Yeah, you feel strange. I mean, you feel you're quickly getting used to it, but you can feel almost like a buzz on your skin all over.
She, feeling her face, doesn't feel any new wrinkles, which is something she's sort of frightened.
Oh, there's obviously this moment where he realizes what you're doing. And again, he just kind of laughs and reaches out and touches your cheek again and says, oh, no, my dear, there's no danger of that. He said, this is not that taxing. He said, you have not pushed it that far. He said, to mend a body, that requires great, great power. What you have done is a small thing. He says, you are ever as beautiful as you always have been, my dear. You've lost none of it, I assure you. But he takes you over. There is a mirror on the wall here, like a floor mirror, so he can see what he looks like when he's dressed. And he kind of he kind of helps you over there, and you can see yourself naked standing there in the mirror, and you look fine to you. If anything, you actually oddly might feel you look radiant, if that's possible for you to feel that way.
She reaches up again and kind of touches her hair and her face and runs her hands down her arms and her sides.
And he just puts his hand on your shoulders while you do that. Yep.
Thank you. I don't know what to think of all this, but it's amazing.
It's just a small step. There's so much more.
She nods and smiles. But now that we're done, it is a little cold in here.
Yes, yes. He says, well, help yourself to anything you find in here. He opens up this dresser and starts going through. He says, a robe at the very least.
Yeah.
He finds one of his silk robes for you that should do. It's a little on the big side for you, but not.
Guys think that's cute.
Yes, they do. So, yes, it's not clownishly big. So, yes, you can. But yes, it's just big enough that he'll certainly think that it's adorable. And he's helping you get into that, and there's a knock on the door. And Kinnery comes in, and Gavigan says, yes, what is it? And he says, the constable from the village is here to see you, sir. And Gavigan says, I thought his instructions were quite clear. And Kinnery says, yes, sir, they were passed on. But he's here to see you, rather insistent. Gavigan, you can see, is irritated, but he says, very well. And he turns to you, Shelley, and gives you a quick kiss, and he says, I shan't be long, darling. We can have our conversation when I get back, as soon as I dismiss this idiot.
Oh, of course.
And he steps out. And what does Shelley do?
She is going to start opening and closing drawers and looking at things, and being generally nosy.
Yes. Okay. Well,
and then after a while, if she doesn't find anything interesting, she'll probably come out and try to find a way to eavesdrop on the conversation downstairs.
Well, she certainly finds in this dresser here, once he's gone out of the room, where he brought the scepters from. Those he took out of a very nice case with, sort of the felt lining, special made for them, obviously. But there is also inside there, you see a couple of white robes, which have a very religious quality to them. And a necklace with a strange, an inverted ankh, like this. It's also sort of hanging from a hanger. next to the robes. And then on a little shelf, this is the best picture I could find. It doesn't quite do justice to what it is, but there's this very elaborate headdress. But the jewels all look like eyes. And it has a very disturbing quality about it, like the headdress is looking at you.
Okay. Well, she's not going to take the headdress, but she's going to take the necklace and hold on to it.
Okay.
And just, look at it, see if it kind of gives her the same feeling that the scepters do, etc. But,
try a power check for me then. You don't feel anything emanating from it, but you're keenly aware that your fingers are, I don't know exactly if I'd say vibrating, but you just feel very alive. You're not even sure you can trust your fingers to tell you the right information.
right. Well, she'll just kind of tuck it into a pocket of the robe.
Mm-hmm. All right, you tuck it into the pocket of the robe, and as you're doing that, your eye just kind of naturally sort of wanders to that statue. And there's just something about it. It feels, you feel like you have an awareness of it, like it is aware of you.
She looks at the statue and kind of scoffs at herself, but is creeped out enough that she would leave the room.
Yeah, it's hard to shake that. It's so convincingly real. Like, it has no eyes, but it has sort of places for eyes, and it just, you can't shake that feeling like it's staring at you, and not just at you, but into you. And so you leave the room. Yeah, you're a little
Unnerved.
Yeah.
And she'll kind of go out, see the guy who's probably still waiting there.
Actually, he's not. He has disappeared downstairs, you would imagine, as has. But Arthur's up. And in his stupid little chair there, he's got his pistol on his lap, and he just kind of looks up at you as you walk over and smiles, sort of.
Can we take a 3-minute break from Shelley? Maybe check in with Natalya for a second?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need a couple minutes.
Okay. Not more sheet cake, I hope.
No, it's not a sheet cake emergency.
Okay. So yes, Natalya and Alan. Natalya, do you wake up early, or do you sleep, or did you sleep at all?
I think Natalya, she would have fallen asleep eventually, kind of laying on that bed, exhausted. But kind of that internal clock just keeps ticking, and she does wake up fairly early with a bit of a start. And she looks around the room, kind of thinking it was all a dream at one point, thinking they're going to wake up back in that hotel.
Yeah, it's a little disorienting at first, and then you have the awful remembrance of where you are.
She feels that gut just sink in like a stone. She looks over to Alan, places a hand on the side of his face.
So he's moved a little bit from where he was, but he's still sound asleep. And he looks the same. And now there's enough daylight, there's a curtain over the window, but there's enough daylight coming in from the morning that you can see his face much more clearly now than you did last night. And it is very strange and unnerving to see his face like that. You recognize him certainly, but it's like it's not Alan anymore somehow.
Yeah, Natalya lets out a little gasp, kind of seeing Alan like before. Everything spins up in her brain, realizing it's him. Seeing the light coming from the window, she'll make her way actually over to it and open. Can she open up the curtains? Or
Oh yeah, she can pull the curtains back.
Yeah, she'll pull the curtains back.
But you can see that on the windows there are bars over the windows.
Yeah.
They're nice bars, but they're still bars.
I'm guessing I'd have to smash the window in order to even reach the bars.
No, the bars are on the inside actually. So your mind could work at, if I had enough time, maybe I could work these bars out of the woodwork. It would be a lot of effort. It could happen over time though, but it wouldn't be quick.
She gives him a few quick tugs, realizing that it would take a lot of time to even pull them out.
They're pretty well done. Clearly somebody, at least knew what they were doing when they put it in. It wasn't haphazardly done.
Yeah, and is that a little fireplace or something? Is there any like pokers or anything, or is it just completely bare?
No. Actually, I will. No, there'd be no pokers there. I'm not even going to give you a luck roll on that one. Definitely
no like
poker.
little metal grate or anything that's just chilling.
A metal grate is possible. Definitely no poker. Give me a luck roll. We'll see if maybe there is a poker grate. There is a poker grate.
Yeah, she's gonna see if she can pull it up.
Yeah, it's portable.
Alright. So how big is it exactly?
I'd say, it's like a little iron cradle sort of for wood. Maybe 1.5 feet from end to end, and maybe 8 inches from 1.5 feet long, about 8 inches wide, with 4 little iron feet to put it on the floor.
She'll kind of heft it up and move away from the fireplace, and she'll test it a few times, kind of swinging it before.
It's pretty heavy, but you are strong.
She'll move beside the door, and she'll actually place it very precariously by the door. Knowing the way it opens up, she's going to see if she can kind of hide it out of sight from someone.
So the door opens out in that way.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, she'll keep it here. She'll make her way over to Alan and kind of tap him on the cheek very lightly. Alan.
What is it? Oh, my head. Oh. Do you have any tea or something? Oh, my head is
I'm
throbbing.
Sorry.
He kind of puts both hands up to his temples and just kind of holds it.
I'm sorry, Ellen. There's no tea here.
Well, I'll make some. And he starts to get up from the bed, and he just sort of like crumples to the floor as he tries to slide off the bed and stand up. And clearly he was not expecting to be so frail or weak. And he's kind of lying there on the floor now with this startled, wide-eyed look of, he said, "Oh, I'm in a bad way, dear."
She's gonna grab him kind of under the arms and haul him up on the bed. Please,
He
just
says, "I'm so sorry for being so silly."
no, it's fine, Ellen. It's fine.
Oh my. He kind of looks around like he's seeing it for the first place, and he says, "Where are we? It's not my flat."
Do you not remember last night?
He looks at you and he kind of smiles and says, "What happened last night? I'm sorry if I don't remember."
Her face is very stoic at this point. She looks down to his hands and looks up. I'm sorry, Ellen. There's been a lot that's happened. It might take some time to remember, but I need you to not panic.
Yeah, he has this kind of confused look on his face, like he's trying to think.
The car, the fire.
Fire. There was a fire? Not my flat.
No, not your flat. Your flat is fine. We were after Gavigan. We went to his home. Do you remember who Gavigan is?
Oh yes, we're going to go and set up that ambush. How is it coming?
She swallows hard, blinks fairly rapidly, holding Alan's hand. It already happened, Alan.
What do you mean it already happened? Don't be silly.
This is the aftermath. We're stuck. We're in Gavigan's home right now.
What? That can't be. That doesn't make any sense. I thought the plan was to kill him on the road.
It didn't work. It didn't work, Alan.
He's befuddled at this point, and he's certainly doesn't look like an old man, but it's again just strange to see him. He seems like he's acting like an old man, like you just can't get that out of your head. He's like how you would imagine an old befuddled guy to be.
Yeah, Natalya kind of realizing that maybe the mind is decayed farther than the body. She just squeezes his hand and gives him a bit of a smile. You know what? You're right. I think we still have a few days until this all happens. But
Yes.
for now, yes, we're at the friend's place right now.
That was a strange joke to play.
I'm sorry. It is a Russian joke. I apologize.
You're Russians. I don't know if I'll ever understand you.
Probably not. Why don't you lay down for just a little bit longer? It's still early and.
Okay, I think that's not a bad idea. I still feel woozy. Have I not eaten? Maybe that's it. I sometimes get dizzy when I don't eat. I forget to eat sometimes.
It must be that. Let's see if I can get us some food, okay?
Yes, okay, that's a good idea. And he easily lets you kind of lay him back down onto the bed.
She just plasters a smile on her face. And just one that she usually kind of reserves for Alan. After kind of putting him to bed, she tightens her lip. She'll actually move back to the door. She won't knock or open it, but she'll just have the bar in hand, just kind of waiting for someone to open.
Okay. I see your... let's see, what should you're at 0 hit points, just by the way. Let's just take care of that. You should be now at, I'd say 8. In your unnatural state of health. All right, so you're going to wait at the door there for a bit. There's a gunshot from downstairs. You've been standing there a bit. Shelley, you were walking up to Arthur to say something, and everyone hears a gun firing on the ground floor. So, Rory, it's back to you.
All right.
So, you are unloading at Gavigan, it appears.
That would be true. His idea of bluffing his way through fell through, and now it's back to plan A.
All right. Well, go ahead and take your shot. No bonus die, no penalty die. This is just a shot from the hip. Or you pull the gun out, I guess you raise it up. You see this moment where Gavigan smirks at you as you pull it up and pull the hammer, as you raise the gun and pull the hammer back. But then you see like a moment of a light bulb going off in his head and genuine worry on his face as you pull the trigger.
Do we remember what pistol he had? I don't have it up here.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I thought it would be a 38. That's the very common weapon to have.
Sounds good.
Oh. It goes just wide of him, and he kind of flinches and ducks. Just not necessarily purposefully. It's more everybody, actually, when the gun fires, everybody sort of flinches and starts involuntarily. And Gavigan starts to make like not exactly a dive, but he kind of turns and to go out, and Kinnery sort of interposes himself between you and Gavigan, almost instinctively. The constable has not really made a move other than to be a little surprised, and he is, he started and almost like took a step back instinctively. You don't know what's going on with him. What do you want to do right after taking that shot?
He's at this point not seeing anybody come in armed or nothing. He's not worried about taking cover.
Yeah, not a lot of time has passed. I mean, this is quick. You took the shot.
Yeah, he was ready for another.
Yeah, Gavigan starts to take out. Kinnery is sort of trying to interpose himself. You're going to take another shot at Gavigan?
Yeah, he's.
Okay, so here's how it's going to work. If you get a hard or extreme, you'll hit Gavigan. If you just get a normal success, you actually hit Kinnery, who's trying to get in the way. And of course, if you fail, you just go wide and don't hit either of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up drawing an outline of people, bullets.
Ooh.
One lore, yeah.
I should point out. I mean, you can see the up to 3 shots. I should say you can do up to 3 shots if you want, like boom, boom, boom. The problem there is that you get a penalty die on each shot. So I will let you do a couple more if that's what you want to do, but you get penalty dice on those. And you would have had a penalty dice on this one too. Penalty die on this one.
Yeah.
But since I think maybe you're not really aware, you could have done that. So.
Yeah, might as well. All
right.
I'm gonna roll like crap regardless, I think.
Okay. 2 more shots with a penalty die. Nope. And nope.
Kidding me.
Three shots go wide. Gavigan is out of the room at this point. Kinnery is backing out of the room, and he's not entirely in complete control, like of calm and collected, but he's enough that he's throwing you the evilest of looks in your direction. Like you can tell he wants you dead. But his first priority is clearly protecting Gavigan. It's pretty obvious. I'm gonna see what the okay. So the constable, brave constable that he is, when you start shooting, instead of rushing you, he actually kind of dives behind the couch over here. What are you doing now, Rory?
Oh no. I think at this point, God, he sucks with the pistol.
He's not terrible. He's just having rotten luck.
Yeah, it's true.
It's probably nerves. And he's wounded. I mean, he's not in the greatest of shape, and he didn't really sleep much. And who knows? There may be dark forces at work in this mansion. It gave him the creeps when he came in.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel right here.
He's in the car's parked right outside, right?
Yes.
That's lose either way, I think, because I haven't hit anything. If even if I went and managed a way to pull up his other gun, he's not shooting good. I guess at this, yeah, we use 5 bullets. How many bullets? 6 bullets, and then how does the reload work?
The reload is you can push if you have bullets handy, you can push 1 into the chamber each round.
All right.
And if you need to reload quickly and shoot, you can shove 1 in and try to get off that shot with a penalty die. You know, because you're rolling the cylinder out, you're pushing 1 in, you're rolling it back in, and cocking and shooting. It's quick and crazy and, you know, hard to do. But you can if you really have to try.
And that was about 6 bullets in the 38.
Exactly 6. You can see on your shot some of the details. It malfunctions on a 100, which for a revolver would be a dud. 6-round chamber. The damage, the range is normal up to 15 yards, and then it starts getting penalties.
He's gonna go ahead and fire out the last round, I guess, at Thomas Kinnery there.
He's got 2 rounds left. You only fired 1 and then 3.
Oh, yep, I counted 1 extra. So he's gonna keep shooting at Tom.
So are you doing a quick 2 or are you doing 1?
He's gonna do a quick 2.
All right, penalty dice on each. Nope. Yeah, the penalty dice gotcha. Yep, they go wide, and Kinnery is now turned, and he's like ushering Gavigan. He's like got his hands on Gavigan now, of like moving him along quickly, and he kind of yells to the guys outside. He's like, "Kill him!" So you've taken your shots. What's next? You can see that these guys both have shotguns.
Yeah, Rory's gonna see the shotguns. He's thinking
this guy's about to roll in the doorway now that Kinnery is through. So you know you don't have much time before he rolls in.
Rory is gonna look at the window and start running towards it, throwing the pistol at it to hope to break it.
With his luck, it'll bounce off the window and hit him in the head.
Yes, that's what.
Okay. Well, all right. So make a throw check for me, just for the pistol, and if you succeed at that, I'll be lenient and say it breaks the window a little bit. You know, at least part of the window.
All right, I can roll below a 20. That'll work.
The worst that'll happen is you fumble and it does bounce off and hit you on your way through. No, that's fine. It hits the, you throw it and it kind of hits the window, but it doesn't really do anything to help you through that window, right? So you kind of break the window a little bit, and so you're rushing over to the window to jump out that window. All right, this guy comes rolling in and he takes a shot with his shotgun. So here's the thing. So I'm going to give you a dodge, and then followed by a jump. So here comes his. Oh no, he has a revolver, not a shotgun. This guy has a shotgun, revolver. Yeah. So. Well, that's a success, so you need a successful dodge to not be hit. Oh, shit! A fumble. Oh, no. Yeah, the bullet catches you right in the back. You feel it. As you're diving through the window, and what basically happens is you get shot as you're about to jump, and you just sort of like trip and fall instead of jump, and you see like the window coming up to your face, and you just kind of slam into it, and the glass just cuts into your face, and you are gone. Last thing you see, you feel that glass like slicing through your throat.
And a gurgle.
Boom. Down goes Rory. All right, upstairs. You hear this shooting downstairs. So Shelley and Natalya, decide what you're going to do. Obviously, you don't exactly know who or what it is, but you know, you hear the shooting and the confusion happen pretty quickly. Whoever wants to talk first, go right ahead.
Shelley was approaching Arthur with a smile on her face, just, you know, a warm smile of greeting. And then she hears the gunshot, and she obviously assumes it's Rory. Somehow.
And Arthur kind of blinks when that happens and sort of looks to the stairs. He clearly hasn't processed what just happened. Like, he kind of, what?
And Shelley turns to Arthur and says, "It must be Shafiq back to finish the job. Arthur, do you have a weapon?" And she holds out her hand.
You see his face just kind of, you know, he's alarmed, and he says, "Oh, that witch!" And he pulls out his revolver. And I don't know, you probably hadn't seen him pull it out before. He's got one of those cords, like army officer cords, on the handle, and he kind of holds it up towards the stairs, and he says, "Quick, you must get to safety."
"I want to protect him."
"Be careful."
"Is there a weapon anywhere?"
What would he say?
Shelley left her shotgun, I think, down in the dining room downstairs.
Yes. When you say that, he's actually, it's like you've paralyzed him mentally for a moment. Like, you can see he's frantically trying to think of where a weapon would be for you. And he says, "Mr. Gavigan has shotguns downstairs."
"Shit. Okay. I'll follow behind you then."
And he says, "Stay close. I'll protect you as best I can."
Is the door... I'm sure it's locked with the key. When he had her locked in that room, was it locked with the key?
Yes.
Okay, so she can't open the door for Natalya.
She cannot open it, no.
Okay, she's going to give the door... I don't know. I mean, she can't really do anything besides follow Arthur, but she's going to talk loudly outside the door.
That whole exchange, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the way down, she's giving the door 2 quick raps before following Arthur.
Okay. Arthur is, you think you see he's shaking.
Arthur,
and he's clearly not going very quickly, and it becomes very obvious that he is sort of working up the courage to go down. Like, he obviously doesn't want to.
Arthur, you're so important to Gavigan. Are you sure you don't want me to go first? You can hand me the gun.
I can't ask you that. I
No, I'm asking. I know how much he depends on you.
How am I to lead his armies to glory if I can't even go down myself? I must prove my abilities to him. I can see he doubts me.
Shelley actually feels a little sorry for this guy.
He manages to edge onto the landing here, but and kind of takes a tentative peek over the railing down below, and you hear another couple of shots.
Sorry, my token's being funky again.
Uh-huh.
Shelley, at this point, she pauses for a minute to see if she can discern anything about what's going on. Like
Okay.
anybody shouting, "No, Minister Gavigan," or anything like that.
Listen check sounds appropriate. It's a little there's not a lot of talking going on down there actually, but you hear footsteps on wood, or not wood, but the tile floor down there. Dress shoes kind of quickly moving, like not exactly panicked necessarily, but hurried. So you can sort of tell there's a little bit of chaos going on down there. You might hear this way, something like that. You recognize Kinnery's voice, and I suppose actually it'd be hard not to pick out Kinnery yelling angrily, "Kill him!" You know his voice well, and he's saying it louder. He's saying it with some urgency and frustration of almost like why aren't you killing him already?
Okay. Shelley is going to tell Arthur to hurry.
Okay.
And just kind of try to urge him
he
down the stair.
Yeah, he gives you this pathetic look up the steps, and you can see him swallow hard and just sort of do that English resignation to his damned fate and kind of plunge down the stairs quickly, like almost before he can think himself out of doing it.
Shelley will give him an encouraging smile and hurry.
He's not
right
looking
behind
at
him.
he's not looking at you anymore. He's just rushing down the stairs.
And she's right behind him.
Okay. What's Natalya doing? She's been standing there with this grate for a little while. Her arms were starting to get tired when she heard the shot, and then followed by another 3 shots. And then so there's definitely shooting going on, and you hear heavy footsteps on wood up here, and you can hear through the fireplace. You hear the gunshots even through the fireplace, and you hear a little bit of shouting down there.
I don't think smashing the doorknob off this is going to even help unlock it, unfortunately. There's no way for her to get this in between the door and kind of jimmy it open.
Oh no, it's too the iron is too fat. It's not really like nice thin things that you could do. I mean, you can certainly you could imagine yourself with a great effort smashing the door with this thing, smashing it open. right? Just like by sheer force of battering into the door. You don't know how strong the door is, but it doesn't seem completely unreasonable that you might, yes, with great effort. Yes, you might be able to do it.
She actually, kind of in this chaos, kind of hearing the first shot, like she hears Shelley talking outside the door to Arthur. What, from her memory, what was the tub made out of?
Porcelain.
I think Natalia's gonna go back into the bathroom and see it. I don't know if she can smash some of that tub with this grate to basically get like a piece.
Sure. You can smash the tub apart. To get a piece to be like what, like a sharp weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
being-
I'm sure one of those shards would be serviceable
Yeah,
and
she's
would act like a crude knife.
gonna take that knife while they're kind of doing stuff, and they're all downstairs. She could make a little bit of noise up here. Smashes the tub a bit, gets a piece, and she's actually gonna go back to the bed and hide it underneath one of the pillows.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way for Natalya to get out at this point. So she's just gonna have to sit and wait. But she does look over to Alan to see if he's kind of woken up from these gunshots.
Okay. He has not.
She just takes a moment to look at him, look back to the door. She put the grate down against the wall, and she'll still keep her station there, just waiting, kind of wondering what Shelley's exactly going to do, what's going on. But the girl said to trust Shelley, and that's what she's going to do.
All right.
Shelley.
Trust Shelley. Okay. So downstairs, Arthur has rushed down into the main room there, and you can see Magnus. He's standing at the front door with the shotgun in hand, and he's looking out through like the little windows in the door. And he kind of glances back in your direction, but doesn't really make any special indications or anything. And Arthur's just kind of looking around, and then he looks into the room here and kind of goes in. And what does Shelley do?
She is going to rush into the other room and grab the shotgun if it's there.
It is. It actually is still leaning in the corner.
Okay, she's going to grab it.
All right. And then?
And then she's going to follow the hubbub, looking around for Gavigan or Rory.
You do not see Gavigan or Rory, but you did hear the door to the basement slam shut under the stairs here.
Okay. She is going to follow that noise.
Okay. Magnus's attention is clearly through the window. Like he doesn't seem to give any of his attention back towards you. So you are able to cross over to the to that doorway without any difficulty. No one's really paying attention to you right now. Or by noise, did you mean this room here, or are you talking about the noise of the door shutting?
The noise of the door shutting.
Yep. Okay, so you can go up there, and it's just a wooden door with a little knob, and you can, I assume you're gonna open it?
Yep.
Yeah, it opens. It doesn't seem to lock. It doesn't look like the door even has a lock.
Well, she's going to open it, look around, go through.
It's a little dark down there, obviously because and there's stairs down, which there kind of would have to be, that sort of mirror the stairs on this floor, and yeah, you can go down, and I'm gonna call a quick bio break.
All right.
Oh, poor Rory.
I'm sorry, Rory, that sucked. That sucked.
Couldn't roll below 67 to save my life.
Jeez.
Literally. Yeah, his plan fell apart when he had no more. Like, I don't know how much Rory would know about like any of the Scotland Yard stuff. So I was like, yep.
Yeah, I don't remember if we said Barrington in front of him or not.
Yeah, no,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And then like even his other knowledge of the law or anything like that, you know. So it's like, yeah, nah. Realistically, he wouldn't know much. So he wouldn't be able to bluff no more.
Yeah. I mean, if you shot Gavigan, that would have been fucking great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm just hoping to smash someone in the face with this grate.
Oh well. That's just how I roll. I shoot bad guys in hotels. Great.
Like you fall downstairs and end up in the hospital, or end up with your throat slit on some glass.
Ain't that the truth?
Onk, onk. Oh my god. I'll be back.
Okay, I am back. Let's see. We have some people downstairs. Just give me one moment.
Hello.
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 Okay, I am ready. Move you down to the
Same.
basement. Let me reveal what you can see. You're at the head. You can see that there are dim electric lights down here. But it's, as I said, dim, so it is kind of hard to really see much in detail.
Okay. And she doesn't have any light source, so she'll just take it slow. My token's being wonky, so I'll just kind of tell you where we're going.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, it's not like you can't see. It's just that there's a lot of shadow down here. And so you step down, and you can definitely hear there is sound coming from this direction.
From what I'll follow the sound.
Okay. So you follow, I assume, like naturally to go to this corner. And you can see Gavigan and Kinnery down here at the end. And Gavigan's standing there, and Kinnery is kind of fumbling with a key, and he sticks it into the wall and turns it and pushes the wall forward. And it turns out it's like a concealed door in the stone wall there.
Do either of them have weapons out?
No.
How soundproof does it seem down here?
You mean how loud would it be heard upstairs?
Yeah, what's her scientific opinion?
If it's quiet up there, someone would probably hear the muffled retorts. But if it's not, if people are talking, probably would go unnoticed. It's sort of, it would not be an easy listen, but it could be heard possibly.
How many shots do I have?
You have a revolver. I don't think you have.
No,
the shotgun. That's right. It's a double barrel. You have 2 shots, or one big one. You can release both barrels at the same time if you really want to try to unload a lot in one lucky shot.
Yeah, the problem is she's going to have to deal with Kinnery if she kills Gavigan, and she doesn't have another weapon. Crap. Okay.
So Kinnery pushes the door open, and reaches for a wall switch to his left, and then light appears in there. Make a luck check for me. Okay. Gavigan does not turn this time. His attention is on Kinnery, and Kinnery goes in, and then Gavigan starts to follow him in.
Okay. Shoot. She's so indecisive. I think, did the door open in or out?
It opened in and to the left.
In and to the left.
Right, otherwise you'd see the hinges.
I don't have any other ammo to reload this thing, do I?
Not on you.
What about the door I came in? Did it lock from the outside or from the inside?
You mean to the basement?
Yes.
It doesn't lock at all.
Oh, yeah, you made a point of saying that. It doesn't lock at all. Okay. You know what? Shelley is invincible right now. It's now or never. She is going to aim and fire at Gavigan.
Ooh, okay. Let's see what the range is there. That's about 15 yards. Okay.
15 yards?
I mean,
that's a bit more than it looked like to just visually. Can she get any closer before she fires, or will he make it too far through the door?
Let's see. You could sort of, I mean, if Shelley was making up her mind to rush and shoot him, she could have started moving before he started moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say you could get to about here before, you know, he's moving away from you. And that now you're within 10 yards or less.
So what kind of a shot is this going to be?
Well, before he slips inside, this is kind of your last opportunity for just a standard shot. So here's the deal. You can take the one shot, one barrel, without penalty. I believe 10 yards is perfectly fine for the shotgun. I really don't think it's any more than that. You know, I think the range is, you're well within the normal range for a shotgun. Or you can unload both barrels at the same time. So you do one shot that either hits or misses, but if you hit, you'll get to roll damage again.
Oh, jeez.
But then, of course, you've shot your...
Oh my gosh. That's so scary.
Is it sheet cake time again? All right, what's it gonna be?
She's gonna do it.
Both?
Both barrels.
All right, good luck.
I don't feel good about this.
Well, this shot will tell us if Cthulhu is real or not, or the Black Pharaoh. Is he watching out for Gavigan, or isn't he?
Or maybe he just doesn't like Gavigan anymore, and he likes me instead.
You never know. I don't even know. I'm excited to find out.
Oh, geez. Okay, where's my shotgun? There it is.
Oh no!
All right, I'm gonna spend luck.
I don't think you can
Can
spend
I
that
do
much.
that?
No.
No, you can't.
No, I changed. That was Doc's rule. I will let you spend as much luck as you care to spend on anything. So if you really want to spend 22 points of luck, go ahead.
Shit.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right. So the second does... Okay, so the first barrel does 10, the second barrel does 19. All right, that is a grand total of 29 damage. So what happens? You rush up, and he just hears the sound of your heels. Are you just in bare feet, actually?
Just
maybe
bare.
Then he'd hear the sound of your pattering feet on the stone, and he's about to go through the door, and he puts like one hand on the doorway, and he turns and looks over his shoulder, and he sees that it's you. And his first reaction is to smile. And then he sees you raise the shotgun, and there's this look of confusion on his face, and you pull the trigger. And sorry, excuse me, what? And he goes flying into the room, like right into Kinnery. And the two of them kind of collapse to the floor.
Shelley, did he look dead?
Gavigan? Probably a little hard to tell. I mean, he clearly took the brunt of your shot.
All right. Shelley is going to run upstairs and close the basement door, see if there's anything she can do to wedge it shut, and then she's going to run up the other stairs.
Okay. You go upstairs through the door. There's nothing really handy to wedge into that door.
Is Dorothy anywhere to be found?
You have not seen Dorothy.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Make a luck check. Luck roll.
Well, this is going to be minus 20, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's whatever your luck is now. Have you changed your luck yet?
My token's being weird. I can't get this screen to go away.
Oh.
Hold on.
Click off and then back on again. Did you adjust your luck yet?
No, I haven't adjusted it yet. So hold
and
on.
it was 22. I can do that. That's your green bubble. Yeah, Shelley's luck is running out. Yeah. Okay. No, you have not seen her.
Okay, she is actually going to set that shotgun down because she doesn't know where any ammo is in here, does she?
No. Mm-mm.
She will shut that door and run up the stairs.
Okay. As you're going by this room, you can hear Arthur saying, "Do any of you know who he was?" And then you kind of hurry up the steps. And you make it up.
She's going to call for Dorothy once she's up the stairs.
Okay.
And she's going to run over to the door that Natalya's in.
All right. You're calling for Dorothy, and she actually appears in Arthur's room. She was apparently cleaning his room.
Dorothy,
And
do you
she
have a
kinda
key?
steps- A key?
A key to that room, to Natalya's room.
Oh, yes.
And she says, I need it right now.
She reaches down and she kind of fumbles a little bit. She has like a key ring with several keys on it. And she says, "What's going on?" And she hands you the key.
I shot Gavigan. He might be dead. I think he's dead. The time is now. And she just runs over to the door that Natalya's in and unlocks it as fast as she can.
She puts her hand up to her mouth like she can't believe what you just said. Okay. Your hands are probably shaking pretty badly. But hey, give me a sanity check.
Wow.
Oh, no, you're going to lose some sanity from that too. You just, as far as you know, you blew a guy away in cold blood, even though you hated him.
Oh yeah. It's That's a tough one.
I'm gonna do a die 6 here. That's only 2. So yeah, but your hands are shaking as you get the key in the door. Natalya, of course, you hear someone trying to get the door open with the key.
Natalya, it's time to go. Get Alan now.
She was about to grab the grate at that point.
Yeah, I can just picture her with that grate ready for you to come in.
Yeah, then Shelley says that and just drops it, and you can hear something clatter to the floor from the inside. And just her feet just run over, and she scoops up Alan. I'm assuming she's strong enough to carry him.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so she picks him up.
He kind of half wakes up as you pick him up, and he can sort of after a few seconds he's kind of limping along with you, like he doesn't really know what's. He's just like, what? So you get him to the door.
Come on, Alan. We're just gonna go for a run. It's gonna be fun. She looks to Shelley.
Shelley has the door open now.
Was there a window in Gavigan's room that opened?
Yes. There's
All
lots of windows in Gavigan's room.
All right, she's gonna say, Dorothy, it's time to decide if you're gonna stay or go. And she heads toward Gavigan's room.
Are you sure he's dead?
No, I'm not sure. But I hit him pretty hard.
You can see that. Yeah. Go ahead.
He might be dead. And I'm going to make sure he stays that way. And she runs into his room and she grabs the scepters and the headdress. And as the others are coming in, and she's just snatching them. Okay.
Dorothy's kind of lagging along with uncertainty. Like Natalya, you can see Dorothy's kind of looking back at the stairs, looking at where you guys are going. She looks racked with indecision.
Natalya kind of just grabs this girl's arm and pulls her. Look, I don't know you at all, but either you stay or you go. This hesitation crap, we're not gonna have time.
But I don't know if he's really dead. If he's not dead, then it would be horrible.
If he's not dead, then we all are.
Look around for the best place to jump, she says, looking at the windows. Maybe there's an awning underneath one of these.
No.
How far off the ground are they?
Oh, geez. 12, 14 feet.
That's doable if you hang by your fingers. Shelley's gonna go grab the stuff, look for something to wrap them in.
Okay.
She'll toss them out the window ahead of her, and she'll start encouraging people to go out the window.
Okay. Which window?
The window that would be not out the front.
So let me, I don't know if you can see everything here. Hold on just a second. You should be able to kind of see. So you can see, so there's a window here behind that bureau, and another one here, and then 3 all along the wall there. And Shelley, your eye does catch that letter that was sitting open on the table as well, as you're kind of looking around for something to wrap this in.
Yeah, she'll snatch the letter and stuff it in her pocket. Just grab a sheet off the bed or a blanket off the bed and wrap the stuff in it.
Okay. Alan is now a little bit more conscious, and he's looking at you, Natalya, and he's saying, "What are we doing?"
We're just we just need to jump out this window, Alan. Look, I'm going to go first. I'll help catch you all, okay?
He looks at you and he kind of starts laughing. He says, "You're acting so strangely lately."
It's this Russian thing. Training. and she's going to take that to kind of swing her legs out of the window, and she'll look back at Alan before jumping down.
All right, try a jump.
Oof.
Ugh. You land hard. You should have, I think I said 8. Well, you're going to take a little bit more. Let's see how hard exactly you land. Oh, not bad at all. You kind of hit a little hard and kind of roll off to the side, and there's this momentary pain, but you're okay, and the adrenaline is going.
She quickly gets up and just looks up to the right. I'll try to catch you.
And you can see that directly below you, where you are now, there is a kind of almost a corresponding room to Gavigan's bedroom down below. And you can see in. There's nobody in it. However, I'll give you a quick view of it. Just a second. So you're like right there.
Okay. She'll take a quick kind of peek in, but then look back up. All right. Either one of you girls, Dorothy or Alan, someone come down.
If Alan won't go like right away.
Oh yeah, he looks very confused. In fact, he goes to the window, and you think he might be about to jump out, and instead he just kind of puts his head out and he just kind of waves at Natalya.
Shelley's gonna push him.
Okay. Well, he doesn't get a jump then. He's gonna hit.
She tries to catch him.
No time for fooling around.
That's going to be a combination dexterity strength check. So whichever one of those is worse, I imagine dexterity.
Oh my god.
You were not expecting this. Like, at the moment she pushes Alan, you're like looking towards the front of the building, and Alan just kind of hits the ground next to you. Let's see how hard. Boom. He's been worse. He didn't die. That's good.
Dorothy, hurry, and I'll lower you by your hands. Or stay, and I'll give you you can say that I forced you at gunpoint to give me the keys. Whatever you choose.
She just keeps looking back at the door. I can't.
I'm not going to make you, Dorothy. All right. And she says, well, give us as long as you can before running down the stairs and telling them where we went.
She just kind of nods. Like, you can see she just looks torn and in agony mentally. But she just kind of nods.
I hope you find your own strength, Dorothy. And with that, Shelley is going to go to the window, toss out the bag, and then she's going to let herself down by her fingers.
All right, I'll give you a bonus die since you're going slowly and carefully and letting yourself down.
Nope, but maybe it doesn't hurt too bad because she's full of energy.
That's right. 5. But strangely, you land on your feet. Like you land it hard, but you don't even notice it.
Natalya's just kind of fawning over Alan and picking him up.
Mm-hmm. Dorothy's not coming. Rory's dead. Let's go. And she grabs Alan by the arm and just starts to run across the yard to the wall, I guess, to climb over.
Okay.
Isn't there a car? There's definitely
there's cars.
There's cars in the driveway.
Yeah, let's go grab a car.
Okay. You rush out to a car. As you get to the cars, you can hear someone say, "There, they're out there." And you can almost, you can't see because you're focusing on getting the car. You can almost imagine or even hear maybe them in a mad dash to try to get to the front door. I'm going to have one of you make a drive auto check to get the car started quickly.
Shelley.
Oh, come on. How about a mechanics?
All right, mechanics is fine too. I will allow that for sure.
Yes.
Okay, the car starts right up, and you go screeching through the gravel, and they get to the door, and a couple of shots are fired, including shotgun shots, but you're going too fast and getting too far away too quickly. Their shots just kind of harmlessly go wide. And you, I assume, just crash through the gate. It's not that strong. So, yep, you just drive through the gate, and now you're out on the almost to the causeway. And again, you've got the outer gate, which you can try to just ram if you want, or you can stop and unlock it.
I think Rory said it was unlocked.
Yeah,
Not
I think
that
he left
she
it
would.
unlocked.
I don't know if he left it open looking, but
He did not. It looks closed, but I'll let you take a spot hidden check to see if you can tell whether it's chained shut or not quickly before you get, right onto it and have to kind of either ram or stop.
who's got the best? Me or you,
I
Natalya?
think Natalya.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Nope.
You're not sure. You can take the chance or not.
Well, I mean, I know that it's not, so I'm going to have to just roll 50-50 so that it's not player knowledge. I'll on 1, 2, or 3, she'll.
Okay.
Yeah, she just tries to ram it.
And it's not chained shut, so there's a little bit of resistance, but those gates go flying open. Probably one of them even kind of comes half off the hinges, and you're on the causeway.
Natalya she dived into the back with all the stuff and with Alan, kind of in bundles, and she's just got her hands on her face. He's dead.
That's what it sounded like. Brave man. I thought he abandoned us, but he came back after all.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. And you said Gavigan too.
I hit him, Natalya. And she looks a little scared and proud of herself at the same time. I didn't know if we'd have another chance, and Rory just gave his life. I couldn't be a coward anymore, so I followed him down to the basement, and I shot him in the back, both barrels. I don't know if he survived or not. He has some ways of healing, but I know a lot of them depended on those implements. And she points to the bag.
So he does not have them now.
No.
Shelley, I think what we need to do now, just in case, I think we need to go quickly, and I think we need to go to Shafiq.
I was thinking the same thing.
Good.
With these, maybe we can make some sort of a deal.
A quick deal. And then maybe if Gavigan's weakened or something, if he's still alive even. I can't imagine, but Maybe she could, I don't know, get the upper hand or something.
We know she wanted to, and I don't think she'll have a better opportunity. So that's what we're gonna do. And Shelley looks back at Alan, and her face looks extremely grim. I'm so sorry, Natalya. I didn't know what he was going to do. I was just trying to keep you alive. And her eyes start to tear up.
Shelley, it's okay. It's okay. None of us could have known what he was going to do. I'm sorry he had to suffer.
It's all right, Alan says from the back. Are we going on picnic now?
You can see, the tears start to come from Natalya's eyes as she looks to Alan.
He smiles and looks out the window at the passing landscape. I'm not gonna make you roll, but you kind of had to work your way around the burned out car that no one's moved yet. Or actually, by this time, the men you pass men that have moved the car off the road, and they just kind of watch you go by. They have no idea what's going on. They just see this car rush on by, and you are clear.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually not a terrible place to end for the night, I think.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we did it! Wait, we might have done it, but then Rory's dead, but still we got away!
We got away. I wonder if Shelley could heal Thaddeus, but we'd have to suck the life from that nasty nurse.
Hey, well, I mean, we heard the words.
Well, it's probably not too different from what Shelley was doing up in the closet. Who knows?
Yeah, you got the closet. Natalya was healed by it, so maybe we can do it to Thad. But poor Alan. I'm so sad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
On the drive back, he just seems simple now.
Oh no.
He's very happy.
At least he's happy. Oh. On a morbid note, maybe we can get him to repeat the words.
You are the worst. That's terrible.
I know.
it's time to go on a really long picnic, Alan.
Yeah.
Picnic.
Alan, can you repeat these words to me over and over and over? Thanks, honey.
That would be so dark. Oh my
Thaddeus
God.
is worth it. Thaddeus, you have to marry me now. You owe me.
Oh my.
Thaddeus, just offer somebody who's really poor and needy money to give up 20 years of their life.
There you go. Just go to one of the alleys, and there's lots of people struggling that would probably do that. No problem. That's privilege at its finest.
That it is. Welcome to the new Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I'm not giving Shafiq these scepters, that's for dang sure.
Hell no. Keep those scepters. Keep getting fucking immunity. Give her the fucking the crown shit and the Ankh shit.
And the crown's probably awesome, but I don't know how to use it, so it's
Oh,
useless to me.